Rest in peace, Aubrey Graham. Drake. One of Toronto's finest, deceased at the age of 37. May we remember him.
What even happens, really?
I don't even know. I think, can we put up a timeline of the Drake and LeBron beef? LeBron. It's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, dude, if Drake and LeBron actually had a beef, holy shit. LeBron would murder him, physically murder him.
No, Drake would never.
No.
Drake is too, would hug you.
Drake's probably like 6'2"?
He's like 6'1", but he always says 6'3".
LeBron's 6'8", 260.
Yeah, you don't have to. What, LeBron James is big?
There's no beef.
This just in. Dude, I was watching CP24. It said Drake versus fucking Kendrick. I'm like, shut the fuck up. That's Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. I'm like,
but did you see what happened? Because Kendrick referenced a restaurant.
Yeah, and
it blew up.
Was it a good reference, or you just said?
Well, he said, I'm
that's
at this
where I'll
restaurant
be waiting.
I'm eating fried rice here, and then they showed the guy, the restaurant owner. He's like, so Kendrick played the song, and he's bobbing his head,
He's like, he was here.
He's like, the orders are out of control.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's getting a ton of reviews, and the reviews are like, Kendrick sent me here.
Yeah, I love that shit. That's all it takes these days, yo.
New whole king, baby.
I think, can we get a pictorial representation of the timeline?
What is it with rappers always loving Chinatown? They always reference fried noodles.
This is how.
Because it's just good. Who doesn't like fried noodles?
I know.
You love ramen.
I know. I'm just saying.
And if you got really big, if you became a huge actor or whatever, you probably still like ramen.
Oh my god!
I love fuck with ramen. That's the same as these guys.
I'm just saying, they always reference it. They never reference any other food, really.
No, they do. They say hibachi all the time. Which is Japanese, not Chinatown.
Yeah,
they'd be like, 2 Chainz loves hibachi.
2 Chainz loves hibachi.
2 Chainz constantly talking about hibachi.
Okay, let's go to Wikipedia.
Imagine you're out for hibachi with 2 Chainz and he starts rapping.
Yeah. I'm like, yo, I'd love to eat hibachi with 2 Chainz.
Like, shit.
I hope a Make-A-Wish kid has wished for that. Okay, so this is... Oh, it started in 2023? First person shooter.
Yeah, because that was with...
Fuck the big three, it's just Big Me, right?
No, that was Kendrick's response to that.
Because,
J.
Cole and Drake.
J. Cole and Drake said him, Kendrick, and Drake are the top 3. And then Kendrick is on a Future song as a feature.
It's like, fuck the top 3, it's just big top me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like Mike Tyson.
He's got hard bars, but sometimes the voice comes in very small and he's like, I'll kill you and I'll spray you and I don't want to hear you talk tough.
They kind of needed Drake. they needed.
But
Drake,
he came up in Compton, so it's like he's got his fucking stripes.
These guys needed Kendrick, to go after Drake because they're not as big.
I mean, J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick are all giant. They're all mammoths.
That's why they're the top 3. That's why they were.
They're all full-on arena acts.
But Future's not huge.
Future's huge.
No,
Future's talking. What are you?
No. Look at this. If you watch this guy's.
No. Skill-wise, Future's nowhere near them.
No.
But draw-wise, he's right there with them.
No, he literally isn't. I watched this video last night. This guy's
So you watched one video?
No, when he says they can't really play out of America. Future will do.
I believe that immediately.
He's Future will only do certain music festivals. He won't do just arenas on just him. Drake can do a show in Germany just on the name
and
Drake.
J. Cole too.
Yes.
And Kendrick, absolutely.
He wasn't saying he's not saying they're not big. He's just what he means is when Drake's saying get the fuck out of here to these guys, he's global versus them being. And then the guy also goes to their hits. Future's 8 biggest songs, Drake's on 5 of them.
Yeah. He goes, I put your number 1 in your hands.
Yeah, and he did it for a lot of them.
Yeah.
So Kendrick stepping in, almost needed to. If this was a video game, they would have been the first few bosses. You're like, fuck, this is hard.
Yeah.
But that's the real boss.
I mean, let's see what Drake says. So
I don't think he can beat him.
I mean, so does Drake have a daughter? I didn't know about that, but it makes total sense. I mean, he's out there.
Not only does he allegedly have a daughter, but there's probably other kids that he's not claiming.
So why did Adonis get
because of his last beef? Because Drake was hiding him the first time.
Oh, Pusha T put it up.
Yeah.
Damn. So now we're gonna meet the daughter, I guess.
That's why I said meet the Grams.
Damn.
That's funny.
Well, Meet the Grams sounds like a TV show. Like that's what he did each verse for each family.
But it's like a double entendre. That's what he's saying. It's like meet their family. This is the family that you don't know about.
Oh yeah,
Meet
there's
the
like
Grams.
17
It's
kids.
him and the
Yeah.
kids.
Damn.
But I mean, like they probably all. What rapper doesn't have a fucking 5-6?
A boatload of illegitimate kids.
What
Yeah.
are we talking about
I
here?
know.
Yeah, but to hide them though,
Yeah, that makes sense.
no, it doesn't.
What do you mean?
To like not say like I have kids.
Well, like that makes total sense.
Why?
Well, if I'm like in my,
I mean, they're not totally hidden. All of
Yeah,
the
yeah,
basketball
yeah.
players and these people that have, they're like on record with these
I
kids.
guess-
Drake is like, I will support you this,
No,
but
Drake
you were
says
to sign
I don't
this.
have kids.
No, but like behind closed doors, you know, because paternity tests and everything.
Yes.
He goes, you must sign this. That says you shut the fuck up and financially you're set.
I just
so they
mean
can't
it-
even say
I
nothing.
just
Because
mean-
then how would it Drake of the tabloids, the news would love that. That'd be a field day for
Only
them.
because he hit it though.
That's what
If
I'm
he had
saying.
never
So
hit
I'm
it from
saying,
the- from the
so
jump-
it's like contractual hiding.
But I'm
Because that's
saying
the
it
only
makes-
way. They're like, yo, your money will fuck up if you ever speak up.
I
That's
think
the
it
only way
makes
you keep people
sense
hidden.
that he hides it because his brand is just he's not a dad. Like his brand is like he's kind of a fuckboy.
Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing. He's
And like,
monetized fuckery.
What I'm not saying to hide it or anything. I'm just saying it makes sense. It's like what would the opposite? Drake's got a bunch of like family photos on Instagram. Like what's the
No, like you don't have to, but
Look at DMX. He wasn't married to any of them, but he had 14 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
that's-
like you see him with a baby and shit.
but
like,
he's being honest about it.
I know, exactly.
Right?
There's
And
photos.
So Drake is trying to say like, oh, I'm
but it's
keeping it
his
real, but he's like, I don't have kids, but that was a lie.
Yeah,
You
but I
lied-
mean
you lied about that.
I love that those verses. Are
lied
so,
about that.
You don't know nothing about that. That's so sick. But like, what's funny is that's not even really anything.
What
you have.
do you mean?
I'm
I
saying
think
you
that's
have
probably-
you have illegitimate children. It's like it'd be cooler if it was some
It's not-
crazier beef where it's like,
you
yo,
killed
you're
someone.
gay.
Yeah.
like
I
you,
know, he did say
Well, he
that.
did say
Yeah, he
that.
did say
he
that.
said that.
He said
he
what
said
you-
that and he said more.
And he said more.
He said it all. He said everything. He said your
We don't
grandpa
think
should
you're
have pulled
black.
out.
Yeah.
He said your dad sucks too.
Yeah. He's like, we don't think you're black.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man.
But
yeah,
God damn.
so let's
We
we'll
don't
go
wanna
back.
hear
So
you
So it was
Say
first person
ninja no
shooter,
more.
and then he goes, "Fuck the big three, it's just big me."
unlike that,
Yeah,
And then J. Cole dropped 7-minute drill and then retracted it.
yeah, and he bowed out of the fight.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, a lot of the internet beefs him for. I got like mad respect for J. Cole for that.
Yep.
He bowed out of the game. The game like is very cutthroat hip hop. They're like, that's what it's all about. It's about competition and blah blah blah. And he listened back to it. Like you could tell once that spirit of like combativeness kind of wears off. You're like, this is kind of cheesy. Just you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is kind of like all of these except this one. This one we just heard, and Euphoria is great
Euphoria
too.
is fire.
No,
But like,
Euphoria is such a good song.
like back to back when Drake did that against what's his name?
Pusha T.
That was Meek.
Meek Mill.
That was against Meek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twitter fingers turn to trigger fingers. That one. Trigger fingers turn to Twitter. That was great. And again, it got that vibe of a regular song. But these are like This last one, Meet the Grams, was like. It was like bloodlust with no malice. It was no malice, but the most direct attack. It was
Yeah.
like it's just like dropping a nuke almost.
These
Like,
guys
with a
are-
button.
I think-
That's what's so funny because Drake
Like,
said he
very
had the
composed.
red button.
Yeah.
Drake said he had the red button. He's like, oh, I'm gonna drop the nuke. I'm gonna end your career.
Yeah, and that's like, oh, you hit your girl, and Drake said you hit your girl, and they have to hire a crisis team to hide it. And he's like, you have illegitimate kids, and you gay, nigga,
And you touch
and your daddy ain't
pedo-
shit.
and
It's like,
you're a
goddamn.
pedophile, apparently.
And I don't like your mama.
I also don't think the other rappers can produce the music at the rate that these guys can.
What do you mean?
J. Cole, Kendrick.
No, I'm
and
saying I'm talking like everybody else. I'm like Future, all everybody else.
Future is
Meek
like
Mill. I don't think Meek Mill could have put out like tracks.
Future's like a vibe.
Yeah.
Future's like a vibe, and like they were saying, that's why he can't go by himself.
I'm
He's
saying,
gotta
how
be
much
in
music
Metro,
is
and
this
he's
in
gotta
like
be
a week and a half? It's like 6 songs.
It's crazy.
But
The
also,
density.
Future is one of the reasons why we have a specific genre of music.
Yes, totally.
You know
No,
what I
I
mean? So
totally
to say
agree.
he's not up there.
He's just no. I'm saying in terms of draw, if you look at on numbers on paper, Drake is like Apple to Future's.
Okay, but are we talking numbers or are we talking rap?
It's rap. It's both. They're in rap.
No, it's not. It's different. There's numbers. And
See, when
there's
it comes to
rap.
putting pen to paper,
You don't care about numbers.
yeah, when it comes to putting pen to paper, Kendrick's clearly shown that he's
but
the top dog.
Kendrick's numbers are also there too.
And Kendrick's got crazy
Like
numbers.
those
But
things
Drake,
go hand in hand. Like you can't be the best at something, and
Here's why-
it's never not.
I disagree.
Drake-
Drake's
renowned.
solid, but Drake went into the pop space and got a lot of that market share.
Yeah,
so he's
yeah.
huge. He went into the reggaeton. He goes into all these spaces like Beyonce, like going in the country, going like Taylor Swift, all these
But
genres.
everybody
but
does
not
that.
Kendrick
No.
though.
Everybody,
Kendrick
not,
stay-
not
and
to
I'm
the
not
same
saying-
extent.
I'm not saying,
But you dip
only
your
stay
hands in,
your
you do
genre.
features and
Look,
shit.
We're doing podcasting, stand-up, acting.
It's part of it.
That's part of it. But Kendrick, he's not in the movies. He's not in this. He's just fucking is a pure rapper, writer, like obsessed with Tupac type style shit. Went, made it big, kind of disappeared, is living his life a little bit, and then kind of came back out of hiding for this whole beef. Whereas Drake's always in the limelight. He associates himself always. He's always like with like Odell Beckham when it's important, and he's
Drake's
with
like
Hamilton
famous.
when it's you know what I mean.
Millie
Drake,
Bobby Brown.
yeah, exactly. Whoever's killing it is suddenly like with Drake, right?
Yeah.
like he just goes.
Well, Drake's like one of the most famous people in the world.
No, exactly, but through association of these type of moves, like what's hot and who's this? Let me go gravitate around them. Kendrick don't do that shit. Kendrick was just like a self-made legend, and then just kind of stays. That's why Drake is bigger than Kendrick Lamar. He really is. Just because by
I don't
virtue of
think-
what I said.
But being
I don't think
a
that-
bigger artist does not mean you're a better rapper.
Exactly.
doesn't, no.
Pop has a bigger spread than hip hop around
But
the world.
I don't
Pop
think
is,
Drake is as big because Drake associated like it.
no, Drake is a great musician,
Yeah, he just
and he's funny, and he gets the on-screen thing.
they're just
'cause
all
he's an actor,
so good
too.
at what they do. Like
So his raps are funny too. They're great, but I'm
Yeah.
saying he's like diversified himself in all these genres.
Yeah.
So he's like, from like a finance point of view, musically, he's like reaping the benefits. Like he's, you know what I mean? Like he's the fruits of his labor
He's
are
like the
crazy.
Apple
Whereas Kendrick
of,
has
like-
stayed highly non-diversified in rap. He's like, I'm a rap guy. I don't really put albums out because I already kind of made it. I'm like if I die, it's like Cat Williams, what he said. If I die today, I'm on Mount Rushmore. Right?
Yep.
So that gives you the opportunity to kind of back
they're
up.
they're both on it. Kendrick and Drake.
No,
are both
but
on
is
Drake,
Drake
Drake not so much.
Yeah.
Drake is debatably is, but Kendrick without a doubt is.
it. Yeah, but I think
Drake
Drake's
without
there
a
too,
doubt
probably.
is rock and roll. He'll go down in like more like rock and roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he'd go in the top 40.
Of all time artists.
Yeah.
Drake will be in that type of space. Kendrick, best rappers of all time, he's in that conversation. Drake's really, he's in that conversation, but it's not like Drake's never going to be the number one best artist of all time, rapper of all time.
Yeah,
Kendrick
yeah.
debatably
Yeah.
could be.
Just like with the stuff he's putting out now,
Yeah.
like Kendrick is like, especially with
And his
J.
body
Cole,
of work.
the quality of his work.
It's just
insane.
hard because
But Drake had a great line against Kendrick where he
they're
goes
probably there. Yeah.
like, in the Family Matters, he goes, your music like you're trying to free the slaves, but really you just, I forget what he said. He's like, you're always
let's
rapping
pull it
like
up, let's pull it
you're always
up.
rapping like you're trying to free the slaves or some shit. That cracked me up. It's true. Kendrick
They
is
probably like both go
got that-
down though on that Mount Rushmore of rap. Plus
Yeah.
Drake's on a Mount Rushmore of other things.
of music
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
Drake is higher.
They're just
Because I'm saying he's tapped
They're just
into a-
both goats at what they
They're
do.
both goats, yeah. Okay, always rapping like you about to get the slaves freed. You acting like an activist. It's make believe. That's a great line. I like that.
And the slight here is that this isn't just Drake versus it's just Kendrick that writes.
Yeah.
Versus them saying he does this with it's
It's
one
ghostwriters.
It's 1v20 if I go against you and all the ghostwriters.
Yeah. Which, once again, that's
Oh,
why
that's
you
what he
can-
meant. 1v20.
It could
Well, no,
be.
in Euphoria he says it. He's like 20v1. No, it's 1v20 if I go versus you and all the ghostwriters or something like that.
Let's pull it up.
I love it. Beam us up. And then I guess he got really pissed because Drake used AI for Tupac's voice or something.
Well, one of the songs.
And then there was a cease and desist he kept saying. I don't know. Is that a thing?
I think Drake has asked cease and desist like a few times for certain songs.
Yeah.
But notice how I'm saying. All I was saying is notice how unimportant everybody else's opinion is. Like they're just bigger,
Including
artists.
ours, yeah.
No, I'm saying artists like Metro, all those guys that were so thing. It just fades away because these
What
guys are
are
so
you
big.
No.
If Future put out a track today, I'm saying it's not as important.
It would be hilarious
Yeah,
because
it's not
of
as
the internet.
important as Kendrick or Drake doing it.
No, Future is staying out of Future is like I can't even. Future's like the hype guy. Imagine like a really good team, really good sports team. Always got their boy with him. Like he grew up with the team. He tours with the team. He's a hype man. He finds the drugs. The bitches find him and shit. And then it's like there's game time and there's beefs 1-on-1. He can't come in and be like, all right, I got you on like 10th down. No, you're not actually an athlete. You've just been part of the vibe and the party this whole time. You know what I mean? Future, have you ever heard like a Future bar where you're like, damn.
Yeah, his earlier stuff was good. I can't remember off the top.
I can't remember anything.
But
I can give you
he
examples
has a
for all
bunch
of
of sick songs.
I'm saying vibe is great.
Yeah,
and
so
when you
sick.
work with Metro Boomin on the drums, you're not going to lose, bro.
But those guys are,
It's really Metro.
These
21
guys
Savage,
are
it's
so,
Metro.
Yeah.
These guys are
Savage
so
has
much
good lines.
bigger. That's why it's like...
Metro is the key to Future. And Metro is the key to 21. But 21 can do his thing without it too, because he's got a sick flow, and he's like... He's got a sound that a lot of people don't have.
Yeah.
It's a distinct sound, and it's like not like quick like J. Cole. I'm writing fast and better than he goes. I just ran up on your bitch and fucked her twice like ooh. You're like, and you can't help but dance to it, right? Like it doesn't compete, but it fully competes.
yeah.
I get what Drake was saying in one of the tracks about them all being washed. And he was talking about Kendrick. It's like none of them put music out a lot the way he was like, 21, all these guys put music out all the time.
Yeah, but Gucci Mane, I'm a huge fan of Gucci Mane, but he's doing the volume versus quality game, whereas Kendrick does the quality versus volume game. It's like everything in life, right?
Yeah.
Where's that song? They
it.
giving hoops to walk through like bad date. Ain't 20v1, it's 1v20. If I gotta smack niggas that right with you, yeah, bring them too. Bring them out, I'll clean them out too. Tell Beam that he better stay right with you.
Oh, not Beam. I didn't even catch this. Do you know who Beam is?
No.
Oh my, not Beam. So
Am
Beam,
I battling Ghost or AI nigga feeling like Joel Osteen? And my sixth sense telling me to off him. Wait, who's Beam?
Beam is Be Everything and More. So he's
Okay.
like,
Is that a man?
yeah, it's a guy. He's
Okay.
he's a rapper. Like that's what his name
Is that a
stands
human being?
Yeah, he's be everything and more. Okay, go on.
for.
Elaborate.
No, but he's a rapper, but he also produces and stuff. He's done stuff with like Skrillex and.
Okay,
he did,
so
like,
does he ghostwrite for him?
I don't know if he ghostwrites, but I know he produces.
So why are you saying tell Beam that he better stay right with you? Is he a Toronto guy?
I don't know if he's a Toronto guy, but he's with Drake on some things.
To understand these lyrics, you have to have a full understanding of the entire
there's
rap landscape.
That's what I was saying when I was saying about Future not being as big. This guy shows this. There's a video, like it's like 25 minutes. He breaks down all the songs. He's got like charts and shit. He's like
analytics.
yeah, he's like so deep in it, and that's why that Japan line. And he literally shows like all their songs, and he's like you could tell this guy loves it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want to watch more of these videos to understand. I didn't even get into all of it because I'm like, because you read these lines, it's like if I try to understand it, I'm way off.
Yeah.
When I thought he said the big in Japan line, I just thought he meant he's global. But I didn't know there's some Instagram account for some girl that they both know that Drake was with first, and then Future was trying to hook up with her before, and then Future signed her to something. I'm like, oh my God.
Pull up a picture of this chick, by the way. What's
It's
her
like
name?
Just Tokyo.
Just Tokyo Instagram.
Just
account.
_ Tokyo.
And she's like a hot like Japanese chick.
Yeah.
Just Tokyo 266. Let's see.
And she was, I think she either like
yeah, she's pretty hot, but she's just like
she slept with Drake and then was hanging out with Future and that label.
That's so crazy to be at the top of the rap game just to be talking about some random hot chick. I fucked Just Tokyo first. Like, yo, you guys are at the top of the world. How are you referencing a random
guys are
chick's
at the
Instagram?
Actually, doesn't Future have a song called Same Hoes? But
Like we all fucking
same hoes, same hoes.
Because all these girls are like professional like thoughts. Oh, look at her. Go down two pictures down from where you are.
Right here?
Yeah, click that one and open that one.
It's just kind of funny that these are like the things that they're saying on the tracks. Like,
yeah, she's bad with it, as they say.
it's just so
It's okay if you
inconsequential.
It's okay if you don't like me. Not everyone has good taste. Damn. Just right to the head top. Click the next photo. This is gonna be ass for sure. It always is. And her ass isn't what you'd think it would be to be involved with rappers. It's like regular world ass. It's
yeah,
not
sometimes
like
maybe
crazy.
you just have so much BBL craziness, you want a regular world ass.
Oh, buddy, I'm all for. I'm saying every time rappers show the chick, like the gram of the chick that's like
That's why she's wearing "We Don't Trust You."
Oh yeah, shit. Metro fucked her and all these people like go. Yeah, look, she's just touring with these niggas just because she's hot. She's getting go to the right, go to the right.
It's just funny because everything that's being said in these tracks.
Such a weird time. Like this girl's just a professional slut or what?
I'm sure she's got some
entrepreneur. Oh no, God bless her.
She's an entrepreneur.
You know what? I and a vegan diet. I apologize.
Don't disrespect her hustle.
I apologize. That was just me. That was just I don't know what that was.
But the things that are being said in these rap tracks,
just okay. I'm sorry.
They're so inconsequential.
Is her first name Just or
no,
this is
no,
okay?
This is. Are you new to Instagram?
I am.
Is her first
Her name is underscore? What?
You're killing me, boy.
Imagine somebody's like on the fence about to try to buy like Drake tickets to some show, and they hear Euphoria, and they're like, "I can't buy the tickets."
Like fuck.
No. He's
Kendrick slayed him.
He is an illegitimate girl.
Yeah, Kendrick slayed him. No, but I'll say this though. I'd rather go to a Drake show than a Kendrick show, and I'm a big fan of both.
I saw Kendrick at Osheaga.
Yeah.
I
like listening to.
The songs are fucking amazing, obviously.
Exactly, but it's more like in your car lyrically.
Yeah.
Whereas Drake is like, how does the motto go? I'm the fucking one. Y'all don't get it, do you? Type niggas acting like anybody coming or whatever the fuck. Like
he messed all that up. Wow.
Yeah, whatever. Like he's got a lot of these.
The motto.
The motto.
Oh.
I'm the what is it?
I'm the fucking man.
Y'all don't get it, do you? Type of nigga acting like anybody, do you?
Jesus.
What is it then? Correct.
I can't say all of it because there's black guy words in there.
Okay, then say.
Oh, here it is.
God.
I'm the fucking man. Y'all don't get it, do ya? Type of money, everybody acting like they knew ya. Go uptown New York City, bitch. Them Spanish girls like me like I'm a Ventura. Tell Uncle Luke I'm out in Miami as well. He like switch that to 2 and it'll rhyme with the next bar. Oh shit.
As well. Switch that to 2.
Oh shit.
That's got legs.
Dude, we need to make a video of like guys that don't know rap trying to understand the beef.
But I'm saying,
shit.
I'm saying,
yo, he let him have it on that one.
These beefs, honestly, like I just want them to keep making good music because it's good music. But like the beefs don't make any sense. Nothing said in the songs. They all own their own labels. It's like, oh, you hit your wife. It's like, well, he's the studio owner. He can't. Kendrick's gonna produce Kendrick's songs.
Yeah,
It's like I got the red button. It's like you hit your woman. It's like. He's his own boss. Yeah. He can't get fired from it. It's like if I worked as the rapper Kendrick for Universal Music, then the beefs got way more stakes. Exactly.
Kendrick, can we
talk to you?
Can we chat at 2 p.m.?
They just play push-ups.
It's like actually I got an account management thing at 2.
Drake,
can you go ahead and shift it to 4, bud.
Jake, we need you in the office.
All right.
Plays Euphoria.
Yeah, exactly. You hit your wife, Kendrick? You having domestic disputes?
Like
Mr. Lamar? Mr. Lamar, the law team is there. Mr. Lamar, oh, fuck. You're out. They got the pink papers in front of him?
I can defend myself in
Come
court
to
with
our
how much suits I've been watching.
Mr. Lamar.
There was, did you guys watch Straight Outta Compton? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember where, like, I guess the manager, who was played by, I forget his name, but the guy from Billions or whatever. Anyways, the guy comes in, he's like, I need you guys to hear this before anyone else plays it for you guys. And then it's the Ice Cube diss track, and then they're like, yo, we gotta sue him. Like, he can't say these things. Like, I can't let him get away with this. Like,
who was saying that? I forget.
I forget his name.
Guys, you're gonna want to listen to this before it hits the street.
It's just so there's just no stakes.
Yeah, it's like, you know what? It's at the point now. I don't like it when it keeps going and going and going. You're like, just fucking...
Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, Paul Giamatti. Guys.
It would have been insane.
My brother works.
It would have been insane if Euphoria was the 3rd track dropped.
Yeah.
Because it's such a, like, you could play that on the radio. And it's good.
It's great.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But it's not like these guys are going to lose, like, market share.
No. If anything, this is expanding all of... If you look at monthly listeners for all of them, they're all going up. They're all going up by millions.
Because your regular Joe that doesn't listen to this...
Yeah. And J. Cole went down. As soon as he bowed out, and his album's great. I'm still bumping it, but he went down. Metro, everyone's like, shut up and make drums, just because Drake said that or some shit.
I was actually curious if they call each other. Because I was thinking, I was like, it would be good for business to just be like, yo,
I don't think Kendrick and Drake.
Beef?
I don't think this is not on this line. Maybe a 50 Cent style one. The way 50 feuded with everybody. Maybe those were orchestrated and like choreographed. But this one,
it's hard though because you can't. If you choreograph it, you don't get real reactions.
Yeah.
So if I tell you, hey, we're gonna beef, versus like one of them has the plan to do it and somebody doesn't, I can bait you and you're gonna really believe it.
but in the rap game, if you put something out, a shot at you, you have a window of time where you must respond harder than you got hit, or you kind of lose. You publicly lose. That's the nature of rap. So it's like you don't even have to. People just go, yo. People hit him up, text him. Did you hear the thing, Drake? And then that's it. Now he hears it, and he fucking grabs the pen, and he goes to work. It was Drake's got like a committee, like 20 people around like a suits style meeting room. They're all listening to it and shit.
Yes.
One guy's typing, one guy's just
he has like little rappers in like Matrix pods that he's growing. So
yeah, he has a rep from
That's what all
ChatGPT there.
OVO is, just a whole bunch of pods of
Yeah, they're in hoodies. They're like the Matrix.
they're like owl. They're like owl shaped people.
They have beaks. They have beaks and chains.
Just come out rapping to Metro
And
drums.
goo. Ooh, get it. Ooh.
It is setting a precedent
in some
for rap
Gucci.
because when MGK feuded with Eminem, it was like one track. They're like, here's one. I got to put out one. These guys are like, I got five.
Machine Guns Kelly was great.
I'm saying
but
it's just
Eminem's ended
the
him, though.
volume of tracks
Yeah.
with these guys is you can't even keep up. I'm still listening to Euphoria and there's 2 more songs.
I just realized that
Three more.
The most memorable Future lyric is "I just fucked your bitch in some Gucci flip flops." Like he can never step into this thing. It would be like a child coming into a UFC ring. Like
He can never.
Dada, no, just fucking dead.
He can never step into this.
Like it's intricate shit. You need a fucking. There's like Black history classes that have veered away from their entire curriculum.
Yeah.
Just to like analyze this shit.
Yeah, literally.
Dude, I'd love to be in a rap class. You know, like all these schools have hip hop history and whatever. You know they're deviating from like regular assignments and shit. They're like, all right, fuck all that shit, guys.
Your assignment is to do the first verse of Taylor.
Analyze Meet the Grams, verse 3. That'll be your project.
That'd be a pretty sick.
Verse
project.
2 was good, but really the layered hits were in verse 3.
What
crazy.
I don't really know what comes next after this.
Well, Drake has to respond
Has to.
soon, within today, basically, because
I mean, he can by tomorrow. That's fine. But I mean, tomorrow's Sunday. You don't need to drop it.
yeah.
I love how we.
now he's got
He
to wait
dropped
till
it at
Monday.
midnight. He doesn't have to drop it today.
He does.
He has no. He.
I
he
love
has-
how
loses.
we dictate like the like consumers.
we are the voice.
We are the voice. Like
Yeah.
if nobody listened to these songs, it would nothing. It means nothing.
nothing.
But if as you like literally because you said he could drop it tomorrow, some people probably feel like that, and that makes it real.
I wonder if
Some people probably
Cat-
feel like what you said too. He's got to drop it today.
Cat Williams never went on Club Shish at the beginning of this
I want to
year.
see that universe.
If anything happened, yeah. What
Would this
multiverse?
beef be happening in the visceralness that it is right now? Because he kind of set the tone for exposition or whatever.
Cat Williams started almost like a cultural black nuclear bomb.
Bomb, yeah.
He's like, we're taking over this shit.
By the
also
way-
referenced in the Kendrick song.
Was this in Meet the Grams?
Yes.
Cat Williams said, "Get you the truth, so I'm gonna get mine." Damn. See, literally. Okay, so like.
Look at the next line though.
The embassy about to get raided too if it's only a matter of time. Hey, LeBron, keep the family away. Hey, Curry, keep the family away. To nobody that embodied the love for their kids, keep the family away. They're looking at you if you're standing by him. Keep the family away. I'm looking to shoot through any pervert that lives. Keep the family safe. Damn.
Keep the family safe.
I don't think Drake will ever go down on a Diddy Weinstein. Weinstein definitely not, but a Diddy thing. I think Diddy was just like ego, like insanity. And he had a lot of like very public beefs and problems with people.
Yeah.
Like more so on like contractual and like legal matters. Whereas Drake is kind of like people are like, man, Drake's a pussy and like this type of
But
shit.
the word on the street is that P. Diddy was like, he was kind of like the street. What's the dude that hung himself? What was his name?
Epstein?
Epstein. So
Yeah.
P. Diddy is like in that Epstein position where he gets people in.
Yeah. Oh,
and
100%. Because he
for
made
other
him come to
people.
party.
Exactly. But
He's like, because Diddy be wanting to party, and you got to tell tell him no.
But so there's
You haven't.
there's probably some people higher up that's telling Diddy, okay, get this guy to come to your party, get this guy.
Oh, you know, I don't even think there's a higher up person. I think it's Diddy himself.
There's a higher up
I think it's
person.
Diddy himself. Diddy is a sex maniac that's into all this shit. All these stories are Diddy. There's no executive that's like, get him fucking on camera. I think it's Diddy's own shit. And sooner or later he realizes, yo, if I have some of this shit on video and stuff, I have power against you, just how Epstein did.
Yeah.
But
Diddy seems just
where
like a
did he learn that from?
maniacal.
didn't I learn what from?
A maniacal.
Didn't
dude.
he learn that from Epstein?
I don't know if they knew Epstein like that.
How do you learn it? It feels like it's genetic.
Think about it. What does society tell you? You cannot have sex with someone, depending on the state you're in, that's lesser than 18, right? What does like cultural norms tell you? If you're a black guy, like power, old school, it came up in the 90s. You gotta fuck bitches, right? So these are all the limitations. This guy gets to a level of wealth in this where he's just fucking, he doesn't care about the lines, bro. He does what he wants, and he brings people into that essence and vibe. And everyone has stories of like Diddy being like, we got to party. Like 50s was like, we gotta shop. I'm buying. He's like, what?
With Diddy, they said it for a long time.
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
With Drake, this would be the first time they're like, you are a pedophile.
But I think Drake is a lot cleaner and smarter in the way he operates. So I think all these illegitimate kids, there's contracts out. All of like anytime like a girl is below 18, I think he's mindful of how he texts. He's mindful of how he's seen.
Mindful.
I think, yeah, no, I'm serious. I'm serious. Drake's very smart. You
No, I know. I'm just
Drake's
saying, like,
very
it's
smart.
like you're mindful with a minor. It's like,
Yeah,
hilarious.
he will never say a thing that could be screenshot and hurt him. I think Drake's like that type of like, he's doing all the shit he's saying. He's just watching his tracks.
Well,
really good.
okay, so this line of like, hey, LeBron, keep your family away, Curry, keep your family away, it's like, that's not a great line because Drake knows these people personally. Kendrick probably doesn't talk to them as much as the kid Drake does.
But that's why he's
Yeah, but
saying
that's
keep
why
your
he's
family
warning
away
them.
from them.
But I'm saying like they know him so well. So imagine like some guy who's in a beef with a guy you know really well, raps is like, no, he's a bad person. They're like, what?
I
him.
don't. But when he's saying it, he's saying
That'd be
it
like
to
a
the
random-
listeners. He's not really saying it to LeBron.
No, I
He's
know.
saying it to us.
I know. I'm
As
saying
if LeBron said-
that's probably why that might.
He has
not
a
be
daughter.
true. That just seems like it might not be
One
a
sec.
thing.
Keep
as
talking
much.
about it.
Oh, what do you got? A little phone call there?
Should I mute your mic?
Full on phone call. Wow.
I'm just in a podcast here. What's going on?
I wonder what it could be. Maybe an insurance thing?
Maybe.
Yeah. That would be nice.
I just think, like, personally,
Oh God, how's your class?
if it's true, right?
Which part? They're like, he's
To keep your family away. Like, if he's like on the Weinstein level,
Creepy.
you have to tell LeBron, keep your family away from the Weinstein stuff.
Yes.
How's that a bad line?
I'm just saying I don't know. It's a good line. I'm saying it's probably not true.
So you think he's lying?
It's probably exaggerated.
So it's true then?
I don't think so, no. Because Drake just knows these people so well.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's a good person. Just because he know people well. Did he know a lot of people
Good
well?
person and
Maybe
being
too
a
well.
criminal pedophile are different things. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to be a good person to be, like, not a criminal.
What?
Like, being good and bad and being a criminal are different. So when he's like, keep your family away, when you say Weinstein level, Weinstein's a criminal. He's like a
literal criminal.
Actually, his case just got.
Yeah, they appealed it. I've been
appealed it,
saying this
yeah.
for a minute. Weinstein's not staying in prison for 20 years.
No.
They gave fucking Cosby 30. This nigga's jaywalking. This nigga's
Yeah.
he's on the 7th hole of some Florida like golf course right now. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
think he's blind, Cosby, too.
nah, he's not blind anymore. He was blind for the case. I'll tell you that.
He's blind for the case.
Do you see him leaning on his lawyer? Fucking him and slave him. I'm an innocent man. The system's out to get a old black icon.
But I just mean more
Rape
that
200
Kendrick Lamar is on the outside looking in that relationship sense. Drake is like in the NBA. He's almost.
The only thing that bums me out of all of this is that I really wish, and you know, it's not my place being where I am, but I really wish Kendrick would have dropped an album with this level of bars You know what I mean? What's come out since? Was it Damn was the last one, or was it?
No, Mr. Morale.
Mr. Morale.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Morale was what? Like 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
You can pull it up.
Like you got it right there, brother, and you clearly got the
I
juice
don't know,
bent
how
up.
many-
Like drop something nice.
What's your frequency? Because 2-3 years doesn't seem too bad to me. I didn't listen to Mr. Morale.
You didn't.
I guess so. Yeah, it's written as conscious rap. Yeah, that's funny.
2022.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I mean,
the
that's not
biggest
that-
fan of this album.
That's not that far away.
Yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of this album, but still, I mean, There's no album that Drake's ever done that's like Good Kid, Mad City. Listen to Good Kid, Mad City from the beginning to the fucking.
Yeah.
That shit's a story. That's listening
same-
to it on vinyl, like as a story, bro. Drake's never done. anything
Actually,
like that.
one thing that I in 7-Minute Drill, the one line that is actually sick is J. Cole's interpretation of Kendrick's albums.
Yeah,
There's
he's
that
like,
line. He's like, your first
first
shit
three
was,
were amazing.
Your first shit was classic. Your
Yeah.
next shit was
whack shit or something.
yeah, the way he breaks it down, and it's true.
Yeah, he's like, and now that I'm in my time, now you want to beef with me?
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
is what he said. Yeah,
They're just different because Kendrick is like what we're saying. He's on the Mount Rushmore of rap, but
type in Control F classic.
Drake has way more like when he drops something, the world like their whole head turns when Drake does something.
Because-
Whereas Kendrick dropped Mr. Morale, I didn't know
Because
about it. It's
Drake
not like a thing.
is Tom Cruise of music. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
he's like a superstar.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And
He's-
Jay-Z passed the torch to him too.
Yeah, and Jay-Z never hit the level that Drake hit though. Jay-Z kept it in rap though. Jay-Z kept it in rap, and I
Also,
mean,
what are we-
again?
what-
Watch The Throne.
Wait,
is-
when you say never hit the level, like what are we talking about there? Because Jay-Z is like he's like two apples. He's like a fucking
yeah, but I'm
billionaire, global icon. Like
absolutely.
what
And
level? What level are we talking about? Lyrically, what do you mean?
Not
We're talking
lyrically.
about 50,000 seat stadium sold out in 10 seconds.
Jay-Z
I-
does that.
No, he doesn't.
What do you mean?
Jay-Z does 20,000 seaters. He'll do Madison Square Garden 4 times, that type of shit.
Okay.
But he's not pulling like what Drake's pulling.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Yeah.
But
Type in like ticket draw or arena draw. I don't know what the even search would be. Drake versus Jay-Z ticket sales. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Drake versus Battle of the Hits. I mean, lyrically speaking, no, these are the wrong.
This is
I'm
a
just
question
talking
for
about this.
ChatGPT
Drake has
or
sold more
Gemini or
records than
Google
Lil Wayne and
Gemini.
Jay-Z. Yeah, these are, but they can't look up. I thought they can't reference like
Gemini.
recent.
Gemini
can?
Yeah, go to Google Gemini. If you've never used this, you guys should both use it.
That's
I was
fine, huh?
crashing on my buddy's place who
Real
fucking works for Google. He's telling me all this in
They just laid off a
inside
bunch of
baseball.
people.
Yeah, he was telling me all about it, bro. Apparently, Google's not what it used to be. Like, it's not like the
So what am I searching here?
who has higher ticket sales, Drake or Jay-Z?
Because the Beyonce and Jay-Z tour, like that sold like crazy.
Oh
That's
yeah,
crazy.
because that's.
Beyonce.
But Beyonce and Jay-Z go to a level. It's not just 2x, you know. Drake career gross 472 tickets sold 3.9 million highest grossing. Jay-Z 430 tickets sold 7.4 million highest grossing touring hip hop artist of all time. Highest grossing touring hip hop. How they both have the same accolade. Even though Jay-Z has sold more tickets in total, Drake's tours have been more profitable on average. Damn, Gemini is the profit margins and shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think that.
So I was way wrong. Apparently, he sold more tickets.
No. I think Jay-Z is
Jay-Z's been doing it longer.
yeah, been doing it longer. He's
20 years
also like
longer.
so deep in the business and if what you were saying about being in rooms about Drake, Jay-Z
Which is
does
on a
that.
different level.
It's a
Yeah.
whole different thing.
Yeah, Warren Buffett's in that room too.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Damn, man,
completely
the rap
different.
game is crazy these days, huh? What the fuck is going on?
And
I'm
all
just waiting
these
for Kendrick to
guys
drop some
respect
drums.
Eminem, this fucking white kid from Detroit.
Because his bars are retarded.
With his little
as they
pen
say.
and his anger.
Yeah, exactly. Aunt, mom, fucking Tom. Fuck Tom like a bim bomb in the trailer park. His fucking shit was dark.
Orange 4-inch door hinge.
Lord, yeah.
It's like a psycho.
Orange door hinge. Yeah, you're like, oh shit, he
Like,
found a word.
Eminem makes rap not even cool anymore.
Yeah, it's just too good and lyrically. Clinically, it's perfect.
Damn, this is not even fun.
I'm just angry.
It makes me actually want to kill a bitch.
Yeah.
You're like, Christ. How do we get on this topic?
I don't know how we got. What were we talking about? You're
talking about touring and the level or whatever.
Yeah, went to New York, activated the visa, so now.
Okay.
We can now go work in the States.
How was that? Where they said, okay, come into this room, and then they turn on a red light. He's like, he's still black.
It was annoying, man. The whole process was freaking annoying. Like, the whole point was, you got the approval notice, fly into the States, tell the customs guy you're here for business. They look at your approval notice, which is not an approval, by the way. It says written on it. This is not an approval. This is an approval notice.
Okay, what does that mean?
That means that they reference this approval with your freaking paperwork, and they go, all right, stamp with the visa. It says expiring the date that the paper says it expires. And the guy goes, I tell him all that. He goes, all right, you're good to go through. I'm like, you didn't stamp it. He goes, oh, I got no stamps. I'm like, what? That's the whole reason I flew in for this moment right here.
Yeah.
He goes, no, I mean, if you want to go to the back, he says this, you want to go to the back room, they got stamps. I'm like, the second I walk into the back room, there's an old man yelling at the Border Patrol guy in Newark Airport. He goes, you guys are, this is the third time in 3 months. They're like, sir, calm down. Sir, lower your voice. He's like, I'm traumatized. I'm 71. I can't keep doing this. Sir, lower your voice, sir. He's like, he was saying all the things as if he was going to sue them afterwards. He's like, I'm having a panic. Can I get water? Can I get water? They sit him down. Sir, we're still going to have to check your stuff. We're still going to have to do a scan. Do the scan. This is. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not getting anything in here. This is, as I'm walking into this chaos.
Yeah.
This guy disappears. They give him water. Call me up. Then I go, you see this paper? This is your approval. This is your pathway into this country. Along being a Canadian passport holder, you have to carry this. I'm like, sir, I understand that. It's just the paper says this is not an approval on it. That's what he goes. In addition to your passport, that's what this is. And another guy walks up. He goes, you don't need a stamp. I'm like, okay. I'm like, kind of sweating now. I'm like, sir, I understand. It's just my lawyer told me that the stamp is kind of like what references the approval. I can call my attorney right now. Can I just call her? He goes, I do not talk to lawyers. I'm like, and then this is the moment that actually made my heart so happy. He goes, I can stamp this thing. It's not going to do anything for you. I'm like, sir, I understand that. Could you stamp it?
So what's the stamp?
He goes, I could stamp this thing. I could stamp this thing. It's just this paper. That is what you need. I'm like, sir, just please stamp it. Please stamp it.
And he stamped it.
And he stamped it. And I was like, oh my God.
So
otherwise, this air trip would have been useless. Like, and then the next fucking hassle was opening a bank account, which was another nightmare. Look, this is a stamp.
And you got a bank account?
Yeah, I'll tell you that.
I thought it takes a long time to do that.
Well, like it opened up, but like. That.
Yeah, it says it's an 01.
It says 01 and it says your expiry date.
Admitted new.
Security, admitted.
You know what? It expires actually kind of soon.
I mean, keep in mind we're mid-2024, so I have 2.5 years, and then we'll go from there. But then the bank, I go online. They said, do not go to Wells Fargo. That's the worst bank in the States.
Oh.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the worst.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, Bank of America and Chase are kind of who you go with. And you know banking, they're all devils, right? At the end of the day.
Well, America has an incredibly crazy banking system.
But I'm like, it's like in the sense of like RBC versus TD. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They all kind of have the same shit. They know what they have. They offer pretty much the same shit. I go to Chase. They said all you need was a lease agreement. I signed a lease agreement with my buddy in Michigan, who I used to live with. So I did a month.
To get a bank account, you need a lease agreement.
You need a permanent address.
Oh.
You need an address. So the way you prove that is a lease agreement, a phone bill, blah, blah, blah. They said all you need is one plus your thing. I go, sit down, do the whole process. The final point, they go, oh, sorry, we can't open an account with you. You need a second piece of ID confirming that. I'm like, your website says. He goes, yeah, sorry. Then the guy comes into the cubicle, older black guy. He goes, look, this is what you got to do. You got to go to Wells Fargo. They open international accounts. I'm like, but the whole internet told me to stay away from Wells Fargo. He's like, yeah, you usually want to stay away from Wells Fargo, but they'll fuck with you. He said that. He goes, they'll open up your thing. You wait till you get their debit card to your address. then you come in with your lease agreement and that statement. You switch everything over to us. I'm like, well, thanks for telling me that.
Why is Wells Fargo? What does the internet say about it? What's so bad?
It's just like it's this with the worst bank, like the worst bank.
Why? What do they do? Like, what were the things?
Dude, I'll tell you. I go to Wells Fargo.
I'm asking.
I'll go to Wells Fargo. I've never had this before. I went into a Wells Fargo.
So you did what he said. You went to
12:30. He tells me I
so
get
you
rejected
just
at
took
11
this
a.m.
guy's word face value.
My
like,
whole
all right.
goal in America, get that stamp,
Yeah.
open a bank account. Because I'm trying to book venues, they need deposits. I need U.S. banking. Otherwise, it doesn't work. I go to Wells Fargo. 1 hour later, it takes me an hour in Manhattan, Wells Fargo. I walk in, 12:30. Hi there. I'd like to open a checking account. Okay, sir. Can you have a seat? Okay. Seat. 5 minutes. She comes over. I'm afraid we're booked for today. I'm like,
What?
What? I'm like, wait, what? I was literally like, you're the worst bank. What? I'm afraid we're booked for today. And I'm like, is there, there's like many, I'm like, is there a neighboring branch I can open today? Can you look? She's like, and turns around and goes back and starts typing. And then I see her with her manager talking. And then I go up. She's like, the Bowery location can take you at 2:30. I'm like, awesome. Can you lock me in for that? She's like, okay, does some shit. She goes,
How
okay.
busy is Wells Fargo?
It was empty.
What?
100% empty. 100% empty. And everyone is in a suit and like nice like club dress. Useless motherfuckers. Useless. I'm like, okay, all right. She's like, you're booked for 2:30. I'm like, okay, is there a name of a person I should ask? Just go to the window like you did with me and tell them you have. I'm like, have a great day. I just disappeared into the night, bro. The next guy finally got a fucking Bengali guy at the next location. God, I love immigrants, man. They just operate on like, I love competent. You never get competent people. It's like Wells Fargo is like DMV. It's like a bad service Ontario. That type of like
Such
government.
a good name.
Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
Great name. Terrible bank.
Terrible. It's weird that it's bad. They got good brand.
I was on Reddit. Who should I bank with as a Canadian coming? Everyone. Stay away from Wells Fargo. Stay away from WF. Stay away. Do not open with Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo.
Well, you know, American banks are completely different than the Canadian banks, right?
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they can do so much more on that side than us.
No. They are private. Ours are not. So it's a completely different system.
Private versus government. I mean, that's the story of Canada all over
While
again,
for
bro.
banking, it
all
actually...
of art, all of CBC, all of
But that,
all
no,
of
no,
the
that's
money
different.
comes in from
Banking actually should be. That's why you get all the craziness that happens over there in the States with the
No,
stuff. that
private
happens.
is usually what makes things good. It's the opposite,
Not
bro.
with banking. No.
What? You'd rather have your bank with the government?
I would
No,
rather
not-
be private
not with
over
the government. I'm saying they're regulated by our government, so they have more checks and balances in Canada than you would in America. So with the trading of like and how they'll give money to Lehman Brothers that then crashed, that could not have happened as bad in Canada. We still can create
Yeah,
bubbles
because the
and
boys
stuff.
just got to convince. They're all in bed together.
There's just less regulations on that stuff and how they can kind of move money. We still have problems in our stuff,
But you know what's good?
but it doesn't affect us
when you're at the
the
bottom,
same way.
it doesn't matter. But when you have like approaching financial freedom, you want to be in a place with minimal regulations. That's
Yeah,
what you want.
of course. But it just spirals out of control. Needs to be a good balance. I'm not saying
I
there's
know,
a perfect
I know.
system. It's just
I just
it's
had to
different.
open a
It's just
bank
different.
account. You know, if you want to work in a country, you need a fucking checking
Yes,
account,
yes,
right?
yes. I was just saying they're
But I was
different.
just blown away. We're like, we're booked for today, and it was just empty. It shocked me. I'm like,
You
you're
went
the
to-
worst bank. You're the worst bank.
But you went to Wells Fargo and you got.
I went to the
an
next
account.
location, fucking opened an account, and now the debit card will get mailed to my buddy's place where I have like a lease agreement with him.
So you have a Wells Fargo account. You don't have a Chase Bank account.
I have a Wells Fargo account. Once that credit card and once I get my first debit statement for that debit card to that address in Michigan, now I can go to Chase Bank and switch it over. But like, I'm not in a rush to do that. I just need this first step to do what I need, and then we'll figure out the banking later. But that was my two goals: get that stamp, open an account. Mission accomplished.
So if you had an apartment in New York, could you get an account? Could you get a bank account?
Oh, I'm gonna have a bank account now.
No, I'm saying like you needed a residence in Michigan or something. What would you say?
No, I just
needed a
did
residence.
Michigan because that's my old landlord. I lived in that place.
Yeah.
I just put together month to month with him. We figured it out, and but you just need an address in the United States. That's it. A zip code.
Did you do any shows there?
Yeah, I did 3 shows. A park show, a show in the back of an art gallery, and a typical like low attendance basement show. Did good in the park show, basement show, died at the art gallery.
What was the art gallery?
It was the back of an art gallery, had like a big room. Imagine like a room where they probably do more art fucking expo shit. And they just kind of like had like a don't tell comedy?
Yeah.
Everyone's got a spin off of it. This one's called like No Way Comedy or something like that. And they have like, they got a neon sign and they put it up. Shh, comedy or whatever the fuck. Or get the fuck out of here comedy, right? Man, I died, bro. I died. The host went up.
Was there a lot of people?
Scattered, high ceilings, people in there 32, 35, you know what I mean? And the room could hold 100 type deal. But, yeah, it was like, dude, first guy, the host, meh. He's like, you can tell he's a new comic. Then the guy goes, Bullet is like a pro. Like, this guy fucking smashed, man. He fucking smashed. And he was like, just loosey-goosey, like, just playing, making fun of. They love borough talk out there. Like, this was in Long Island City, which is not Long Island. And he's like, yeah, it's Long Island City. And he kept making all these references that he goes, admit you're in Queens. And everyone's like, they love that borough shit, right?
Yeah, they're very geographical.
And very liberal. Like, this guy kept saying, like, very funny, but he kept saying, like, look, I would vote for Biden twice. He said that at one point. Okay? And then I go up, I'm hitting with my best shit. And, like, the fucking, a bunch of them are working. I had a week beginning and a week ending, and I did okay in the middle. And, man, it was like, I met some comics. Hey, nice to meet you before my set. After my set, I'm leaving to go to the next thing. I'm like, hey, good to meet you. Like, yeah. It's funny how the comic, it's like they reserve judgment to see how you do. And then after, like, yeah, you're not a threat. Like, they didn't even, when they shook my hand, they didn't even make eye contact after.
Wow, so many of those fucks are just...
There's 500 comics there, huh?
Writing.
Yeah, this guy was like a pure, like, writer. Like, and I'm like, fuck it.
Alex Wood is a very good writer.
Yeah, he's a great writer.
He has this
and he's funny, too. He's, like, a great performer, too. Have you seen his
Yeah.
ski thing? Skiing past red flags of...
Yeah,
He's like
he just
dating
did it.
with red flags.
Yeah.
It's like downhill skiing. Like, she's like, oh, I want to watch Jumanji again. He's like, okay, that's okay. like I forget how the bit goes. It's a great bit. Alex
He has
Wood.
the thing where he just became Muslim. He just like got into the Muslim religion.
Did he?
Yeah.
Because his girl's Muslim.
Yeah.
Did he actually?
And he's like, at the end of it, they come up to me and they're like, welcome to our brotherhood. Welcome to our brotherhood. We're so happy to have you. Like, welcome to our brotherhood. He's like, I'm a white guy. They're saying this to me. I was like, I could never do this. Imagine I was going up to a bunch of white guys. Like, the white guys kind of took their brotherhoods a little too far. He's like, welcome to our brotherhood. It's like,
yeah.
And then it just his whole scape on it.
He's great.
He's awesome.
No, he's a great comic.
Good writing is you can't beat it.
Listen to Neil Brennan on Seinfeld on Neil Brennan. Great episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. He said something amazing that was like, he said every bit or stand-up has 4 components. The idea, the face, the voice, the body. When all 4 things match perfectly, you get Bernie Mac. The idea, the face, the voice, the body. Which really, like, I just kept rewatching it.
It sounds like you have.
I know you're saying it like you prayed 5 times a day to that.
But it's a great
You're
point.
staring off into the corner.
It's a great point because sometimes a bit may not be working just because the expression you have on the face does not match the idea you're trying to bring up, right?
Yeah.
Maybe you have a smile when you should look more somber, or you look somber when you should have a smile. Like, these type of things seem obvious, but now it's like, oh shit. Now I have an actual breakdown to review why something didn't work.
Well, to that, I think that
You're gay. You're gay.
Well, when you talk to a newer comic, and I'm a newer comic, I'd still put myself into that.
Yeah, I mean, I am too.
Yeah.
If you're less than 10 years, you're a new comic,
Yeah.
right?
But I think you get confused that the idea is just the words that I say are hilarious. But if that were true, why are things that you don't think are funny hilarious to somebody?
And vice versa.
Because the way they said it,
Yeah.
or because of the moment. So
Yeah.
There's all of that too.
Yeah, man, it just it's like obvious, but now I'm like, oh, huh, wow.
I'm also starting to really notice the difference in like pros and then like guys like that are becoming pros. There's still things to iron out. Like comics will still, and I kind of did it the other night too, and just don't have to do it. You don't have to point out what the energy is. Like there's moments obviously where the energy is just fucking weird and whatever, but you know, sometimes people will point it out after a joke, and you are in the worst vantage point to understanding the whole soundscape of the room. Like standing at the front of the stage.
You can't really get a good read of what's happening.
No, I
you
just
gotta
get
be in the back of the room.
I just get that they laughed or they didn't.
Yeah.
I don't get the volume. I don't get that like the person in the 12th row laughed kind of like to themselves.
You ever get off stage and go, bro, that back table loved you. And you're like, I didn't hear that back table at all.
No, I felt like I was just playing in the front.
It's like literally when we did Ottawa, you're like, that back table. I'm like, I didn't know anything about the back table.
I know.
Yeah.
And the pros that are 10 plus years, they know that, and they keep trucking through. Trugging. They keep fucking doing it.
Yeah.
And then it makes it bigger and bigger. I think every time you say, that's funny, it's like
you're slowing your momentum down.
You're slowing it down.
Yeah. I learned that the hard way where I told you the other time when I opened for whatever his fucking Brian, what's his name, from the Comedy Store. Yeah, like just the those two kids vibe, like they weren't even allowed to laugh the way they were looking. I wanted to comment on it, but I realized I've done that before where I commented about something I saw that no one in the room saw.
Yeah.
And I'm doing a thing good, and now it would have killed all the momentum to address some like, because I would have been like, oh, look at this guy's face. Yeah, no, and then you realize they didn't see the face. Yeah. And then you got to say what it was. But like a good comic would have been like, look at this guy making like right in one line, say, translate, or when someone yells out, I used to just be like, did you hear? You got to be like, do you hear this person? This person just said, and I'll take it that way. Like, you got to say what they said because most people didn't hear it or choose to go forward, right?
Yeah.
And now when I watch these videos, you can add 3 years to the seemingness of how long you've been doing comedy just by pulling away the you know what I means and rights. Just omit the you know what I mean and let a full silence follow the statement you make or the punchline. And you look like you've been doing it way longer.
Yeah.
I'm watching this shit, and I said 3 tags I followed with you know what I mean. I was like, oh.
You say right, and you know.
And I say a lot.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my god. It just disgusts me. Like, and the when that lady told me goes, when she said, go to the window like you did with me, like at Wells Fargo, the only way to describe her face looking at me was literal disgust. She was looking at me like I had a shit smear on my face. She was like, go to the window like you did here. And I was like, oh, I just fucking like, I felt small. I fucking, fuck Wells Fargo. But thank you for opening an account for your boy. I holla at your boy.
On stage too, it's there's so many things. I'm realizing now with acting, because I'm getting it a lot better, is you got to take the hat off and put the hat on. Because before I was just trying to be a comedy all the time so I could just go into it. No, comedy starts at like 8.
Yeah.
I'm not a comedian until...
Oh, I hold the juice now.
Yeah, it's like 8 o'clock. I'm a writer during the day, and then I'm a comedian at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, that's a thing Chris Rock said, is that comedians make their money during the day.
Yeah.
But collect it at night.
Yes. Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, right?
That's actually the perfect way of putting it.
And another thing that... This episode is great, by the way. Like, as a comic, you got to listen to this episode. But he said when Seinfeld got the approach to do the show, he's like, I want to do it with Larry David. And they're all like, fuck Larry. Larry David's like with this weird alt guy. They're like, no, you can't do it with him. And he goes, no, we have to do it with him or it's not going to happen. And he happened to run into David Letterman at some party. This was like the late 80s. And Letterman told him that night, he goes, if you're going to fail, make sure you do exactly what you want it to do. Because then you can live with it. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, that's 100% solid.
Well, Jim Carrey said the same thing about his dad. His dad lost his job. He's like, my dad was the funniest guy in the world. He's like, way funnier than me. And he's like, he got fired as like an accountant or something. And he realized if you can lose your job that you hate, you might as well do what you like. Because
That's
you could just
beautiful.
get fired from something you don't even like.
Yeah. You might as well risk it all and do what you do like. You might as well fail doing exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also so many different ways. Like now with this acting class, it's really got me onto like listening and just
He's
understanding.
like, all right, I'll take the class, bro.
But-
you're like, this guy, Doug, man, he's just
Every-
Dean.
How much is Earl paying you, man?
So much.
He's on payroll, bro.
I'm getting residuals.
My name-
Actually, I went up to him because his intermediate class is by interview only.
Yeah.
And our last session, I actually did a good job with the scene, like way better than I've done. And I was like, hey, I don't know if I'm ready for the intermediate. Should I just like take the intro again? Like, I just want to keep training.
He's like,
No. You can take you can do it. Just
Yeah, he's
send
like,
the thing
no,
in.
take
He's
the
like, you're fine.
intermediate.
And he told us this story. He tells us all these stories about these actors. And he's like, this guy had he was a series regular on 3 shows. One that was in Toronto, one was in the UK, one was in Dubai. And they were
Okay.
flying him around and around and around. And Earl's talking to him. He's like, when you're done these shows, come back in the studio. I want to work with you to get you prepared for like what's coming next. And he didn't end up doing it. He goes on all these trips. He's making all this money. You know, he's doing all these things. And then it kind of just slows down. It's not popping off like it was. He was award winning and doing all these things. And he comes back in the class later and he's just like, I kind of just got a little bit high on my own supply, man. I just thought like we really knew. He's like, well, why did you want me to come back in the studio? He's like, well, because the trajectory you were on, the next level of acting that you're going to be asked to do is like where they're going to really rely on you to carry the story. You got to really understand how
like as a lead.
As a lead. He's like, you got to really understand how to do that because it's different than you're getting good on these sets at these shows for these roles. So if you keep doing that, you're just getting good at that. But before when you're auditioning, you're so hungry. And it's really the same thing as comedy. You're fed as a comedian. And now there's no reason for me to be as hilarious as I was because I think I'm so funny. You think you get...
What happened with Dalia?
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of buy your own thing. He also told us this story of this guy that... And this was recent, he said. Booked a role for a major blockbuster in Hollywood. And they did a screen test. And he's saying, you want to cut the time in half to being a good actor? Read. He's like, you read a lot. You have a very imagination. You'll be able to see a lot. And you'll be able to put yourself into the minds of these things that you need to do, right? If you don't read, you'll have a narrow viewpoint and it will be harder for you. And he's like, Shakespeare's as modern as tomorrow. It's more modern than anything that exists. He's like, if you read it all and understand it, don't read it in one thing. Try to get it. Take time and understand what it is and blah, blah, blah. So he had this student that balked at Shakespeare. He's like, it's kind of old.
I don't fucks with it, dog.
Yeah, he's like, I agree. Some of the language is archaic, but what's in there is brilliant. He gets this role years later, and they do a screen test, and they don't like it. He's like, okay, you have 3 months. They give him 3 months. Work on this again. We'll do a screen test after that. Calls Earl with 2 weeks left, and he's like, hey, what were those books you told me to read? And he tells him. He's like, how much time do you have? It's like 2 weeks. So well, how much time do they give you? He's like, 3 months. So why didn't you call me before this? Goes to do the screen test, loses the part, quits acting
Damn.
because it was such a big role.
He got to the top of the mountain.
It would have changed.
Fumbled the bag.
Yeah,
He fumbled the bag, would have changed his life. And he said to him, he's like, I should have read what you told me to read.
Fuck.
Yeah. And then I was thinking about us. It's like, yeah, you get a few roles, you start to think, even with the commercials, it's just me. It must just be how I am.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Stars aligned and you got to keep working.
I think the people that are at the top got lucky a little bit, like everybody does.
And the guys right under them is just all working tenacity.
No, I'm saying some of those guys at the top got a little lucky and then saw that it was luck and they were like, I could turn this into something if I work really hard at it. Versus the guys that get lucky and keep relying on that. It's like, well,
Gotcha.
I keep booking. Fuck it. I mean, whatever. And then you're like, well, why didn't I turn that into leading roles? It's like you didn't work hard at it.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to take that class for shout.
This last class where we did this, I was like, I'm going to start to work. I'm going to start to book stuff.
Yeah.
If I can do what he's saying in this,
Yeah.
I was like, this is what I was missing is like the screen analysis. I'm also writing short films. I'm almost done the second one. Yeah, it's fucking nice.
Let's go. Let's end on that shit, the boys.
Yes,
Big shit coming. Short films.
Hopefully the Leafs win tonight, Game 7.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to do any comedy.
Dude, I've taken the night off. I can't wait.
I'm like, this is not the night for comedy. The city's on lock. If they win, then do they have 1 or 2 more series before the Stanley Cup?
2 more series before the Stanley Cup final.
Okay.
But the second round over in the West
Yeah.
has Edmonton and Vancouver. So 2 Canadian teams are playing each other for the first time in like what would be many years.
So there's a big chance a Canadian comes out with the cup at the end
If
of this.
Toronto wins tonight,
Yeah.
there are 3 Canadian teams of 4 that entered the Cup playoffs.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance.
Fucking right.
There is a Canadian.
Who was it you said? Vancouver versus...
Vancouver versus Edmonton. There is a Canadian team going to the Western Conference Finals without a doubt.
Yeah.
We don't know about the East yet.
So the Oilers are killing it.
Oilers are good. Vancouver's very good. Vancouver could win.
Connor McDavid, what team's he on?
Edmonton.
That boy's a beast.
Yeah, he is.
All right, nothing to plug just yet. Just wait. We're gonna have a big announcement soon.
Woo!
Kendrick, Drake, rest in peace. Till next time, everyone. Bye. Click it.
You don't know nothing about that.
It says right error.
Right air?
You don't know nothing
Yeah.
about that.
Oh, hold on.
You don't know nothing about that.
There we go.